Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Super excited to be back with our new series, Broker Pains, with the incredibly talented Marion Weiler with Weiler International, and the other incredibly talented lady on the show, Yvonne Sandoval with Leverage 365. We are here to talk about, as the title says, Broker Pains. We want to hear from you what you're going through, questions you have, things that you want to change, things that you want to ask, because we all know that as brokers and team leaders, you're going through it right now. And today we're going to talk about agent recruitment. How many of you are challenged on a daily basis with the very powerful people who are out there recruiting all the time, offering things that seem like it's beautiful, grass is greener kind of scenario, and they're getting the agents that you have spent a ton of time working on. Also, there are agents that want to come work for you, but you have not given them an opportunity to tell you what it is that they want. And so we're going to talk about all that. Marion, welcome. Yvonne, welcome. Super excited. This series is awesome. I think it is hitting a nerve. And so I'm excited to have you both on. So before we go forward, obviously, we need a little intro, and we'll start with Marion.
Thank you, Ted. I'm Marion Weiler. I'm the CEO and founder of Weiler International Business Consulting and Leadership Consulting. And I am working with brokerage leaders to help them create a brand that goes to the next level and creates brand loyalty internally and externally, because both of these aligned come together for the growth you're looking for.
And it's Weiler, by the way. Ted's going to get that right before the end of this series is over. And Marion is no stranger to the TED Show. We did a great series earlier this year, late last year during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. It was awesome. So much great information. So I'm super excited to have her and her expertise back. And of course, you all know Yvonne Sandoval with Leverage 365. She's got her finger on the pulse of realtors and brokers in our own crazy real estate world that we live in. Welcome back, Yvonne. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thanks, Ted. I'm Yvonne Sandoval, the owner and founder of Leverage 365. I am working with real estate agents as well as brokers, helping them stay top of mind with their database of contacts.
Yes, and you both do an amazing job, which is why this show is so important. We have all heard it from our broker friends, our team leader friends, and our agent friends, how the market is constantly shifting. You don't know where to go. Is this great? Is this not great? And our first show we did about agent retention, which was amazing. This time we're going to talk about recruitment. And I think this is so important because there are a lot of brokerages out there who are hitting really hard on the recruitment. So if you didn't listen to the retention show, you should go back and check that out. But today, Marion and Yvonne and I are going to be speaking about recruitment. So this is a topic. Marion picks the topics. I love all of them because of her experience. Why this topic? Why is this important right now, Marion?
Recruiting is the livelihood of a brokerage. And, as we talked last time about retention, just by the nature of the business and any business, you're going to lose agents for various reasons. So the recruiting is going to keep your brokerage and your business alive. And so that is an important topic within the real estate, particularly where all the revenue is coming through agents and transactions and sales. So it's the topic.
And
I think so. It's a lifeblood, right, Yvonne?
It is.
Yeah, recruiting is a 24/7, 365-day-a-year activity. You can't recruit just when you need agents. I actually have built and continue to do so recruiting campaigns for brokers so that they can have something going out, a campaign that's going out that keeps the culture and not only the offerings of what the brokerage, does offer agents, but showing this office and who they are. Even, if it's a Keller Williams office can be different. One that's in New Smyrna can be different than one that's in Ocala. It's because each team leader and brings something to the plate that makes that office unique. So really communicating that is something that has to happen 24/7, 365 days a year.
I agree.
You know, you
I think that we miss the agents, and the agents are looking for something, right? So if they're in recruitment mode, whether they know it or not, they're always trying to figure out, are they at the best place that they can be? Is this someplace they're happy? Are they feeling valued, as we talked about before? And so when you are recruiting, I call it the dating before you get married. You've got your whole courting thing going on. You've got your best outfit on. You're telling them all the beautiful things. You're showing them and sharing with them all the amazing things that will happen when you get to that brokerage. The problem is that so is everybody else, right, Marion?
It is. And Yvonne, you brought up a really interesting point, because real estate, it's a people business. When I start being connected to that leader, to that office, I see the other agents and that office just blooming. That's where I want to be part of. And that's another very human trait. We want to be part of a vibe. We want to be part of something dynamic. And so if I get the feeling that where I am at this moment in time, I don't have that, I'm much more likely to be receptive to another brokerage. And so that's where the retention blends in with the recruiting, because once I start being open, because I'm not that happy. If I am totally happy, I'm not even going to realize.
Not even thinking about it.
No, you're not. And even with a financial incentive, of course, you'll always have agents that are going for that and that are looking for that financial bonus or benefit or whatnot. But I would venture to say the majority is looking for more. They're looking for an environment that they can grow, that they can be at their best, where they can build their business, where they can be part of something bigger.
And I think there's tons of studies that have shown that a lot of management, CEOs, CFOs, they always want to throw money at everything. And if you actually survey your staff, most of it's not money. Number one ends up either being valued, vacation. It's a million other things. It's not just money. So if you're recruiting and you go, well, I can't compete with the XYZs of the world because I can't offer that kind of money, you're thinking wrong. In my opinion, I think you need to be thinking about what you actually can offer and what makes you different and unique and what makes you attractive, instead of focusing on the things that you can't control and that aren't you.
Yeah, it brings up a topic which I it's a bit out there, but that energy that you're putting out, because when you're recruiting, it's not just about, as a brokerage leader, come to me, right? You're trying to pull them in. You're trying to attract them. It's really a two-way street to say, we are an amazing brokerage. We're looking for more amazing agents. And here are our values. And we're not taking everybody that has a pulse, right? We're not taking in whoever just got their license, whoever we can draw in, but we are selective. And that is another part that I believe more and more agents are looking for. They want to be part of that, and they want to have a bit of that. It's not everybody being part of this brokerage, that exclusivity that comes with that. But in order to really recruit based on your values, you have to first understand what your values are. Because, think about it. If you're a brokerage leader, it's in some offices where you have maybe that one agent that just does not fit your values. It doesn't fit your culture. And the other agents are constantly complaining about that one agent. You, as a leader, you're dealing with so much more agony and potentially losing some of your good agents over that. So it is, in my opinion and experience, important to really understand who do you want to recruit. And that changes the dynamic, it changes the energy, and it changes your results.
So how, Yvonne, from your experience, do they determine the who? Because you're right, you don't want everybody with a pulse. You want, and if you bring one cancer in, God, we could spend weeks on this topic. Bring one agent in that's a cancer, it can destroy everything that you've built up. So you being protective of the culture that you've built, the environment that you've built is so critical. And at some point we should probably talk about that. But from your experience, what about the who, Yvonne?
Well, I think that, this is a two-way street. I think the broker is interviewing the potential agent and the agent is interviewing the potential broker. So they really have to be in alignment. And I think what we're seeing is that there's not enough due diligence going on when it comes to bringing on a new agent. Yes, you probably are, as a broker, are checking their numbers, and we all know what that means. But are you checking out other aspects of who that agent is? Because that agent represents you as a broker, your brand that you've created, as well as if you're a national brand, that brand as well, or maybe if you're an international brand. So if you're checking out an agent, just like I would do when I'm hiring someone, within my organization, I want to see who they are to the world, meaning what's their presence. So their presence means their online presence, their presence in the community, their presence in the industry. And we have ways of checking that. We can do a social media, sweep, where we look through their social media platforms.
Yvonne and I do that all the time, just for the record.
Yes. Is this potential agent representing themselves in such a manner that reflects well in the way that you would want your brand to be reflected? Is this agent in the community someone who has contributed in a high fashion? What are their interests? What are their what kind of areas do they service? These are things, and if they're a new agent, even more so, do we need to know more about them because they don't have maybe an industry presence as of yet. And brokers should be bringing on people of all levels. They don't necessarily have to be the top producers because sometimes it's best to get someone when they're new because you can teach them your ways.
Yeah, they don't have any baggage at that point. That's a whole nother.
You could be the broker with Yoda, and you could
be. You could totally be Yoda. All right, so just like we did on the first show, Marion, give them some real hardcore things that they can take with them, maybe 1 or 2 points on the recruitment. So they've got 10 agents who they want to recruit, or maybe 10 agents that have come to them, and they're trying to figure out if it's a good fit. How can they attract the people that they want based on the environment and the culture that they've set up?
Yeah, the first part is really understanding your own culture, understanding your own values, so you know who would be that good fit. Because if you are not entirely sure, like what you stand for as a brokerage, it's going to be very difficult to find the agents that are truly aligned with that and will thrive within your brokerage. Yes. Because there are so many different brokerages out there, more than ever, and they all stand for something different. And that is fine because they will attract their quote unquote tribe. And so will you, based on what you're standing for. I'd say that is the number one, because there's still a lot of brokerage brands that are not clear on what they stand for. And to Yvonne's point, a second point is make sure you have different levels of experience agents. Don't just go for the top agent, the A player, or, if you're in the luxury space, the agent that only brings in, millions and millions of dollars of listings that then have to be marketed. And if you do bring them in, my third advice would be to make sure you have the support on the staff side. Make sure you have the support, because if you bring them in and you've promised to customize marketing, you've promised to give them customized support and support at every hour of the day, then please make sure you really have that support available. Otherwise, you're going to run into challenges where other agents are limited in their access to support because you're trying to keep those new agents happy. And we're coming back to the retention piece. And in the process, and not meaning that for that to happen, but it is happening, and you don't want to have that happen. The retention and the recruiting part have to go hand in hand.
Agreed. And I think one thing I'll leave you with, and then stop over promising and under delivering. If you don't have the system in place, don't tell them you're going to get it and it's going to be amazing. If you're not happy and your agents aren't happy and you know that, don't promise an amazing place, an amazing CRM, an amazing anything if that's not what's in place right now. Because Orlando is a small, we're talking about Orlando in general, a small town, and we all talk. So we know when this stuff doesn't happen, it's not good for you. It's not good for your brand. It's not good for your culture, your environment, and it's certainly not good for your agents. All right, Marion and Yvonne, I know people are going, how do I engage them? How do I get involved? How do I learn more from them and maybe engage their services? Marion, we'll start with you. What's the best way for them to reach you?
The best way is to go through the website, weilerinternational.com, and you can fill out a little form and just get in contact with me there, and we can set up a quick call to discuss.
And how about you, Miss Yvonne?
GetLeverage365.com or 407-915-8000.
Fantastic input today. Very, very excited. I think that agents and brokers will watch this and start to question, all right, am I doing this right, or am I at the right place? So we want you to tune in. We want your ideas. We want your input. We'd love for you to ask us questions that we can share, topics that are important to you that maybe we haven't thought of, although Marion's got a pretty exhaustive list. We're very excited to continue this series. But if there's something that you want to hear about, something you want us to talk about, reach out to Marion, Yvonne, or me, and we will absolutely get it on the show. Thank you, guys. We'll be back next week with another episode of Broker Pains. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.